welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm doing a get ready with me. We've got a couple of friends coming around tonight, so I thought why not film and do my makeup. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be using is the Essence Prime Studio primer. It is a mattifying, pore and minimizing primer with black clay. So I'm kind of bad. I never used to use primer, and lately I've been watching a lot of tutorials and people have like insisted on wearing primer, so that's what it looks like. So I'm like, oh well, I better do it. So I'll just put this all over my face. I like to give it a couple of minutes just to like settle into the skin. Like all over the face. It's always good to wash your hands before doing your makeup, so I've done that. I've actually not long got out of the shower, so my face is ready to go. So once you've done your primer, I like to just let my skin, let that set in and breathe. So while that's doing that, grab my beauty blender. I chuck on my instant matte setting spray. So I like to just like wet the sponge. I have already wet my sponge because my sponge was getting a little bit grubby, so I did give it a quick rinse. So I'm just spray that on, and I'm like quite a fan of Essence. My friend actually got me onto Essence. Super affordable, and I find this foundation really good coverage. So it says 16 hours stay, long lasting makeup. I use soft vanilla. When I tan, I do go for a darker shade, but because it's winter here and I can't be bothered tanning, I'm using a lighter shade. So I just go through and 2 pumps of that, and then I just plop it all over my skin. Oh, my headband's hair is sticking out. And then I just like to go through and just blend it all onto my skin. Being mindful that when you are doing your makeup around your eye area, you do want to dab really lightly. Because the skin area around your eye is quite thin, they suggest to dab lightly. So once I've done my foundation, I actually like to go and do my brows next, just because I like to sculpt them and give them a clean look. So what I do is I go through with my spoolie and I just brush through my lashes. Not my lashes, my eyebrows. Brush them all out. My eyebrows are looking a little bit crazy at the moment because I've been slack and haven't got them done. So the eyebrow pencil that I am using is the BYS Blonde. This is how I do my brows. I suppose there's probably different ways of doing it, but this is just what I prefer. So what I do is I like to start at the bottom and basically, oh, it's got a little bit of pencil in that. So I like to just start at the bottom and basically just sculpt out my brows. So I like to sculpt the shape that I like, just lightly. I find with this pencil you don't need to press quite hard because it is quite pigmented. So I just go through lightly, just like that. And then I just go through at the bottom and just go at the top, brushing it through lightly and kind of just getting the shape that I like and then filling it in. So it's looking a little bit crazy. So once I've done that, I do like to go through with my spoolie and just brush through the product just to give it more of a softer look. So I do like to just go in and just fix any bit that need doing. Boom! Look at that. So once I've done that, I've got a sneaky little trick. I don't know if it's good for you, but I just find I used to use a brow gel. So this is the brow gel that I used to use. It's eyebrow gel mascara. So I use this to keep my eyebrows in place. But lately I seen a girl on TikTok and she actually went through and used hairspray. So I'm like, well, if you can use hairspray on your hair, why can't you use it on your eyebrows? So I'm just going through, any hairspray will do. And I just go through and spray the spoolie and then just brush. And I find this just holds the eyebrows into place throughout the day. So once I've done that, I'm going to go and grab my concealer and a flat brush. And I like to define my brows. So the concealer that I'm using is the Maybelline New York in shade 10 Fair Clear. So I just go through and just basically, hopefully you can see this, just go through with my concealer, and basically it's like sculpting. I just feel like it gives it more of a tidier and a real clean finish. So just brushing it through right to the sides, and then just going through on the top. So just like that. It just gives it more of a cleaner look. Like once I do this eyebrow, you'll see the difference. So once I've done that, I do go and grab my beauty blender. Well, it's not a beauty blender, but a sponge. And I just go over and I just blend in the product into my eye. Like that. Now I'm going to go through and do my other side. Same thing again. Brush, 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 brush. Basically just outlining the front of my brow, then going under and down, and up and down. Gentle strokes, because I find this eyebrow pencil quite intense. Same thing again, going through with my spoolie and just brushing the product through just to give it more of a softer look. Boom. Now, can you see how clean finished this eyebrow looks to this eyebrow? I just feel like this gives it more of a sharper, crisp look. Do that one. Now, the hairspray thing is totally optional. I just like it, but you can go through, for the purpose of this video, I will show you. You can go through with a brow. My words are just not coming out today, I tell you. Go through with your Essence Brow Mascara. So basically it's like a little brush on the end, and you basically just run this through the brows. So same thing. And then I'm grabbing my concealer, putting that on the end of the brush, just brushing it on. The products that I'm using, I will leave in the description bar below. So just going through and sculpting out my brows. And then once I've done that, grab my sponge and just blend it. So that's what my brows are looking like. So that's how I do my brows. I think it's quick and easy. It doesn't take too long. So once I've basically done my foundation, my brows, they're done, I can go on to doing like my contour, my concealing, and my highlight and all the fun stuff. So what I'm going to do is grab my concealer again, and basically all face shapes are different, so I'm just doing the best that suits my face. I've got more of a rounder face, so I just find this works for me. So I grab my concealer and I do under my eyes. And then I go through and do the bridge of my nose. I like to do the top of my forehead and my chin, and I go in here. So I'm basically just going like underneath my cheekbones, just across there. And then I'm grabbing my contour stick, which is just the OXX. It's just a twisty top one. So I'm just going through and just doing the areas. I like to do underneath my chin and up here, the tops. And I like to do the side, down the sides of my nose, the bridges of my nose. And the tip. So now I'm looking crazy. Woo! I go through with my sponge again. I'm just going to wet it a wee bit with my setting spray. Oh my gosh, I just got that all over my mirror. One moment. So going through with a beauty blender. And when I start at the chin, do the sides of my face, the forehead. So I blend in my concealer first, and then my under eyes, lightly dabbing. Don't need too much pressure while doing this. On my other side. Boom. And then I go through and do the bridge of my nose. So once I've done my whole face of concealer, I'm going to go through and blend in my contour. So I do just blending it in underneath my cheekbone and then under my chin. Basically just blending it in and just dabbing. There's no need, we don't need to pull or anything. We're literally just, the sponge is just going up and down in the same side. So I'll just go through and do that all over my face. Now I need to go and do my nose. I feel like I need a little bit more on my nose, so I'll just add a little bit extra. So I'm going to try and make it a little bit smaller. And pat that in just lightly. So that's what we're looking like. So that's what we're looking like right now. Not so much of a hot mess. So now once I've done that, I'm going to go through and set my makeup powder in Pastel Beige number 11. So I just go through with a big fluffy brush. So I'm just going to be using this brush. So I just go through and just apply this, just dabbing. Same thing with your beauty blender. Up and down, dabbing all over the face. Boom. So once I've done all that, I'm going to go through and chuck some bronzer in my face. Now this is the blush, but I use it as bronzer. It's Essence. It is shade 20 Bespoke. So I'm going through and basically just going over top where I put the contour. So when I do put my bronzer on, I basically just do from like where my ear starts to basically just before my eye starts, so here. So basically stopping about there and meeting to where my top of my ear is, and just blending that through. Then I come down and just go under the chin. I don't add more product on because I feel like we don't want it being too harsh around this area. So just like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. So that's one side of my face done to that. So same thing on the other side. Going through and just blending it through and then pulling the product underneath. Like that. So then I just go through and lightly dab and just add a little bits on the top of my forehead. I'm just like that my hair because I've got a fringe. My fringe keeps falling out. So now once I've done that, I like to go in with a smaller, narrower brush. So I'm going to be using this one here. Nice and small, and grabbing the bronzer and lightly just sculpting out my nose. Oh, hopefully you guys can see that it's just bringing my nose in a little bit. So now I'm going to go through and grab my brow blush. So my palette's a little bit filthy, so I'll just give it a bit of a wipe. The Stila, I will be using, which colour am I? Because there's two blushes in there. You can tell which one is my favourite. I am going to be using, I'm going to go through and use that one for a change. So that one is Playful blush, Playful. So just grabbing my brush, this one here, and just adding it to the cheeks. So I like to go a little bit higher up. I know some people like to go on the apples, but me, I like to go back a little bit. So just basically the same thing where my contour is to where my blush is. Hitting that on. So the next thing, once I've done that, almost finished the face, I'm going to go through and use some highlighter. So I like to use this brush here for my highlight. I'm using the MAC. It's Soft and Gentle B6. This is my favorite highlight. I just feel like it's nice and creamy and it's not too powering. It's just that nice, subtle, natural kind of look. So I just go through and I basically just add it above my cheekbones, around underneath my eyebrows. See how gorgeous is it? I hope you guys can see how gorgeous that is. Love it. And then basically the same thing on the other side. So once I've done that, I like to add a little bit just down the barrel of my nose. So like that. So hope you guys can see that. Look how pretty that is. Oh, so pretty. So just like that. That's pretty much the only places that I like adding highlight. Just for my skin, I just find I get quite oily skin, so I just find if I put too much highlight on and when my skin gets a little bit more oilier, it just doesn't look good. So I just find having the highlight just around my cheekbone, under my eyebrows, and on my nose seems to do the trick. Now we're on to the eyeshadow. I'm going in with my Stila. This palette's called Perfect Me. So this is one that I used before for my blush. So it's got 4 beautiful eyeshadow colors. So you can tell that you can tell the ones that I really like. So the first one I'm going to start with is the Dynamic. So this one is this one here. So I'm going to grab a fluffy brush, this one here. And I'm basically just going to dip, dip, dip. And basically just start on the crease of my eyebrow bone and just keep blending, blending, blending it through. So I like just to add a couple of layers. This is basically just my base, just to give it a bit more of a, you know, subtle look around the edges. So like that. So my next one is I'm going to go in with the lightest shade, which is called Breathtaking. I'm going to dab that on with the same brush, just all over the lid. It's a good base for my eyelid. So I just keep packing that on. And like that. So once I've added those 2 colors, I'm going to go in and add the darker shade, which is Glamorous. And I'm going to grab an even more fluffier brush. So there's a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to go and use the fluffier brush, dab it in, and I'm basically just going to do the inner corner. So I'm basically just going to try and make like a V shape, like here. So just keep packing that on. I will be blending this out. So just pack, pack, pack. I'm just blending it out. And then I'm just going to grab the excess and just pull it through. Just really lightly, just brushing it. We don't need to be heavy-handed. Just lightly just brushing that through. If you want to go darker, you can just keep packing it on. You can do this lighter too for more of a natural look. Because it's an evening, I might go a little bit darker. So we'll just pack that on. Next one I'm going to go on is with this highlight, which is Passionate. So this is going to go over my lid. So I'm going to grab a different brush again with the first brush that I was using. This is, I love this. It's so sparkly. Like, I don't know if you guys can see how like sparkly that is, but that's why I'm so low on it. So now I'm just going to be adding that over the lid. Just to give my eye a little bit more poppiness. And just pressing it into the lid. So once I've added all the product, I do just like to go back in and just lightly just blend the outside and the inside a little bit, just to give it more of a softer look. So once I've done that, I'm going to go and do this other side off camera. So once I've gone through and done that next eye, I do like to go under with the brush that I was using to contour my nose. I like to grab this one and basically going in with that darker shade and basically just going under my eyelids. Now I don't like to go all the way in. I just like to just do the inner corner. Just lightly bringing it under the eye and blending it. I feel like once you put your mascara on, it just makes it pop a little bit more. Nice and simple, quick and easy. So once I've done that, doing my eyelashes, my favorite part. So there's a wee hack to this that I seen a while ago and I am absolutely obsessed with it. So basically you'll be needing an eyelash curler and a hairdryer. So what you're going to do is basically grab this and you basically want to heat up your wand. Once you've heated up, just want to make sure that it's not too hot because you are putting it near your eye area. If you're not feeling confident with an eyelash curler, I suggest avoiding this part. So once I've heated up and I'm touching it, you want to lightly go through and just pump through the lashes and just curl. I will show you and just hold it there for about 10 seconds and just lightly pumping it through the lashes. So I'm going to show you. Hopefully you guys can see, like that's it not being curled and that's it being curled. Like totally mind-blowing. So once I've done that, I go through it with a spoolie and I basically just separate my lashes before applying the mascara. So I just go through and just separate them. So I'll do it so you guys can see. My eyelashes are blonde, so it's a lot more harder to see. So once we're done that, I'm going to go through with my mascara. I use the Essence Volume Styling Mascara, which is lash extension mascara with lengthening fibers. This mascara, I'm legit. I was getting low on mascara and I just needed a mascara. So I went and picked this one up. And honestly, when I opened it, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so clumpy. I was like, oh, this is the best mascara. So what I like to do is go through and just brush the mascara through. So just like that. Look at the difference. It's absolutely crazy. So what I like to do is I like to go and do my other eye while that one sets. And I do like to go through just with a second layer. I just find it helps give it a bit more thickness and volume. once I've got both mascaras on, I'm going to go through and do this eye again. So just grabbing the mascara and just basically just running it through my eyes. If you find it gets a little bit clumpy, you can just lightly squiggle your brush. And just like that. I'm not one to wear falsies all the time, but this mascara is crazy. I went out the other weekend, we had a 30th, and my friend's like, are you wearing fake eyelashes? I'm like, no girl, it's this mascara and it's amazing. So I highly recommend this mascara. It's the best mascara. I've used lots of mascaras over the years, and I will do a video on my top 5 most loved mascaras, but this one takes the cake. So now I'm just going to go and do the other side again. So I did get a little bit of mess on the top of my eyelid, but the best thing to do with that is just to wait till it dries and go through with a cotton tip and just wipe it away. Do it when it's dry because it's a little bit more flaky and crumbly. So that's basically my mascara done. As you can see, long and luscious. So once I've done my top eyelashes, I like to go in and do my bottom. This is optional as well. I just like to do the bottom. So once I've done my eyelashes, let them set before I put my setting spray on. I'm going to do my lips. So you can do gloss, lipstick. I've got quite a few that I like, but this one was my wedding one. It is the MAC. I can't actually pronounce the name, but I will put it in the description below. But it's like meh. It's like M-E-H-R, like meh. Matte lipstick. It's absolutely a stunning color. Now I'm bad and I don't have a lip liner. I've only got red, so I'm just going to go through and do my lips. So once I've done that, I'm going to go back and use my Instant Matte Essence setting spray, give it a shake, and basically just spray my face. And let that set into my skin. Now I'm going to go and do my hair, and you can see the finished result. Here's the finished result, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time, my lovelies. Bye.